Coming up on Torrance today, as the temperatures dip and the holiday season approaches, Torrance firefighters remind us to be fire safe. Need a Torrance-themed stocking stuffer? How about a beer run shirt for just $5? And take a minute to enjoy local art the next time you're shopping at the mall. We'll show you where. All this and more coming up right now on Torrance Today. Welcome to Torrance Today. I'm Christine Lee. It's 4 p.m. on Tuesday, the first day of November. I hope your week is going smoothly so far. Thank you so much for joining us. Here's our first story. Well, many people are starting to count down to the holidays already. I actually have my first Thanksgiving gathering this weekend. So as the winter season approaches, let's check in with the Torrance Fire Department for these timely reminders.
We're going to see a lot more heaters being used. We're going to see the decorations for Christmas or your holidays, which require electricity. They're going to be kept outside. So there's a lot of things that we can do to prevent any type of fires or injuries to our residents. Number one is check your smoke detectors. You can make sure that the batteries are working correctly, they're in place, and you have your CO detectors along with those. You want to check the integrity of your decorations and any extension cords. And if you do choose to put a tree in your house, make sure that it's watered on a regular basis. Make sure that it's kept away from any heat source. Make sure that a child or a pet can't get to it to create damage. And make sure that overall, anything that has lithium-ion batteries or batteries included, you do a good check to make sure that it's not going to pose any threat to you or your family members.
He also says the fire season is pretty much year-round these days because of climate change and other factors. It's becoming hotter, drier, and we're not getting as much rainfall as we used to. And that means there are a lot of dry fuels that can easily ignite and spread during the winter months as well. Assistant Chief Brown says now is a great time to do your regular maintenance on vents and fireplaces as more heaters and other heating sources come out. The check before you burn season starts today, allowing us to help improve air quality through the winter months. The South Coast Air Quality Management District launched this pollution prevention program from the beginning of November, and it lasts through the end of February. The agency asks residents to avoid burning wood in fireplaces, backyard fire pits, and wood stoves when we're experiencing poor air quality. Officials say staying away from wood burning is one of the most effective ways to help improve indoor and outdoor air quality. They add that emissions and stagnant weather conditions may increase levels of fine particulates in the air during this time of the year. South Coast AQMD will issue mandatory no burn alerts on days when poor air quality is expected due to particulate pollution. The PCH and Hawthorne intersection improvement project is finally coming to an end.
We're in the final stages of the project now. So last week our contractor finished all of the concrete work in the intersection. We still have some minor concrete sidewalk, driveways, and curb work, as well as the final striping and the final landscaping plans. This intersection is one of the busiest in the city, so this project is hopefully going to improve traffic flow. This project involves ADA improvements, traffic signal improvements, as well as some landscape modifications. We are fortunately ahead of schedule, so we will be finishing by Thanksgiving and have all of the cones and everything, all the lane closures off the road by Thanksgiving. So it has been a significant impact to the public. We do appreciate everybody's patience throughout this whole process. This will be a really significant, successful project when it's finished.
Workers spent many late nights improving this part of our city. The road widening project began last year in August, and workers say this is a big milestone to be done with the entire paving at the intersection. A big thank you to our Public Works Department for making the roads wider and safer for everyone passing through. The holiday season can be a stressful time of the year, and a local nonprofit wants to help. The Torrance South Bay YMCA is teaming up with the LA County Department of Mental Health to launch a series of free in-person presentations. Their goal is to teach self-care techniques. Every Tuesday evening starting tonight at 6 p.m., facilitators will dive into some hot-button topics such as mental health and stigma, symptoms and treatments of depression and anxiety disorders. Medical experts say the holiday season often brings stress and depression, and it's important to seek the right support to stay healthy and strong, both mentally and physically. Did you miss the Torrance Beer Run this year? I did, and was bummed out about not getting my annual shirt, but now the California Welcome Center has them for just $5. But there is a catch. You have to fit into a size medium. I grabbed mine, and you can too, inside the Del Amo Fashion Center. It's cash only, and Discover Torrance says it's the perfect stocking stuffer since we are now less than 2 months away from Christmas. And while you're there, be sure to grab some pamphlets for various destinations as you plan your next getaway. A growing number of people have been dropping by the Welcome Center in recent months. More than 6,300 people in September. That's up over 1,000 compared to May. And while you're at the mall, take a minute to appreciate the newest art display at the window of the Discover Torrance office. The rotating display launched last December, lifting up local artists and their works. Right now, you can see the unique artwork from Daniel Brickman. His pieces combine sculpture and painting and is composed of rope, hot glue, sawdust, resin, and pigments. He says the COVID-19 pandemic influenced this work. It evokes questions of ritual, process, and growth. Motifs of repetition run throughout the pieces, suggesting the cyclical nature of our daily experiences, such as the establishment of our personal routines. Discover Torrance and the Torrance Art Museum work together to find and showcase the works of our local artists. If you'd like to submit your work, you can still apply. To learn more, go to torranceartmuseum.com/open-call-window. El Camino College will host its 5th annual State of the College this week. This year's focus is on digital transformation. The event takes place on Friday, November 4th from 11:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. in the East Dining Room located above the bookstore. Experts from diverse tech fields will share about how they're evolving to meet the demands of our economy. ECC students will also discuss how they're applying what they've learned in the classroom to a world experiencing lightning-fast changes. Superintendent and President Dr. Brenda Thames will lead the conversation. She celebrated her 1-year anniversary at El Camino College earlier this year and will be joined by a guest speaker from Microsoft. Well, Election Day is just 1 week away, and the City of Torrance encourages voters to make their voices heard. Vote-by-mail ballots have already been sent out, and there are multiple vote centers in our city for both early voting and day of voting. And a reminder to all voters, if you moved or changed, you will need to re-register by visiting lavote.org. Bark for Life Torrance returned to Columbia Park over the weekend. One of the organizers, Michelle Rand, sent us these pictures from the event. Many of the dog lovers dressed up their pets and joined together to fight cancer. There was a costume contest, demonstrations, games, and more to entertain the crowd for hours. And at last check, it looks like they raised nearly $2,000 to save lives and fund the future of cancer research, patient support, and advocacy through Relay for Life. And still ahead, it's Take Care Tuesday, and we want to highlight a nonprofit in town that recently celebrated its 18th founding anniversary of helping people in a priceless way. We'll have more when we come back in 60 seconds.
We taught him how to hit a baseball, how to hit a receiver, the strike zone, the net. You taught him how to hit the upper corner. You even taught him how to hit the open man. But how much time have you spent teaching him what not to hit?
something more than a birthday is happening here. Once you can see it, you can help. The sooner you recognize the signs of autism, the sooner you can make a lifetime of difference for your child. Start by answering a few simple questions at screenforautism.org.
At the end of every episode of Torrance Today, we want to share a positive story that fits the theme for the day. On this Take Care Tuesday, we want to highlight a special nonprofit that provides comfort and peace to our community members during their last days.
Caring House was created to help ease the burden on families with a loved one at the end of their life. When they're not able to spend that time in the home and the amount of care is too great on the family, or they don't desire to be in a facility, we believe that everyone deserves peace at the end of life.
Just a few days ago, Caring House celebrated its 18th founding anniversary. Since then, the nonprofit helps so many residents and their families in the home-based setting they provide, which is the first and only one of its kind in LA County. 96% of the residents are there for 45 days or less, and every resident received hospice care in a loving home environment filled with compassionate workers. Congratulations to Caring House on its nearly two-decade journey of taking care of others in our community. Well, that's our show for today. Let us know if you have a positive story to tell by emailing us at torrancetoday@torranceca.gov. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you back here tomorrow with more news from and for our Torrance community. Have a great day.